All right, that was a fucking nightmare.
That was an absolute goddamn nightmare.
It was a fucking nightmare, and now we gotta fucking summarize all 4 episodes of that shit in an hour.
This went directly from like good podcast material to just shit.
I will say I have energy levels spiked maximum. Hello,
so high.
Miyamo fucking Bill.
Miyamo Alan.
Yeah, we
and
just
this anime, Yamo bad.
This anime is bad.
This anime is real bad.
Is no bueno.
No es bueno. Es muy mal.
Darwin's Game episodes, what was it, 9 through 11?
Yeah, 9 through 11. We did 9-11.
We did do.
Wait, no. This was 8 through 11. We did 4.
Oh, we did 4. 8 through 11, so that includes 9-11. So 8 through 11, we really just hit the ground running, and we really did not stop on insane nonsense. There was a few housekeeping notes in terms of things that we got wrong. And by us, I mean me specifically was wrong. You said it would be... COD Ghostman's motivation would be a family member. I said, what if it was a love interest? In fact, I suggested NTR as a possibility. I was wrong. Very, very, very wrong. It was a kid brother. They revealed that literally immediately.
They did. Literally within a minute of the next episode starting.
We've now finished Darwin's Game, but let's try to go in chronological order. Where we last left off, he was trying to bluff the evil gang man. And he succeeds in doing that, basically, and wins the game.
He wins the game, and they all get teleported away, something he could not possibly have known.
Yeah, which was just really stupid. So basically, once he wins the game, everyone leaves, which allows him to just survive. But it could have also been the case that they didn't, and then he would have still been killed, and then they would have just taken the treasure. They would have just taken the treasure. And it's just deeply baffling. He just banked on all this happening. But, I mean, it's Darwin's Game, so it's not really that much of a surprise that insanity was occurring, that nonsense was occurring. So he received, after that, a privilege, which they did not specify until the last episode, I think, right? Or was it second to last? It was infuriatingly late. They did not tell us what he actually got for doing this. He speaks to the Game Master. The Game Master says, I can't let you leave. There's only 2 ways this ends. You either win the game or you kill me. Or you die. There's no other ways to leave Darwin's Game. Which does imply there is an end in sight. Which, I mean... There is an end in sight.
There is a game plan. So they either have to clear the game, which is nebulous and unclear, or
he says he wants that to happen.
He wants that to happen, which means they're going to kill the Game Master.
It also say that the person who's running the casino won that as a wish. Which is interesting.
So they won a previous event, and their wish was to run the casino.
Which seems strange, because, like, is she still in Darwin's Game?
I guess.
I guess she's just, like, a moderator on, like, a Twitch stream. She's just, like, a volunteer.
It's like, I guess if you can't tell people who don't know about Darwin's Game, that means your casino has to only have people who play Darwin's Game in it.
Does this mean all rich people are just people who play Darwin's Game? Or does it mean that the people who play Darwin's Game are secretly, like, running our entire society? Or, like...
I'm pretty sure the second one, because you get a ton of money with the points.
Yeah.
So, like, you can get rich really easily just by playing Darwin's Game.
Yeah, no, they're like, literally rolling in money. They don't know what to do with it, frankly.
Yeah.
And then we have a time skip in the style of, like, a One Piece or Naruto.
Right, so there's a time skip. And society at large has decided terrorists did 9/11 in Shibuya instead of a plant man.
Yeah, so they did actually take the effort to explain what happened to most people, which is a surprise to me because I figured they would not do that. So they explained that it was due to terrorists, is what most people believe. Then we have a scene where, this is something you were right about. I said that I didn't think the daughter would come back, but the plant man's daughter shows up. This was a very strange thing to me. There is an insurance agent for the game who knows about the game, which implies that he's selling life insurance, to members of a deaf game, which seems like the worst idea I've ever heard of.
What sort of outrageous premium must he have to, like, possibly make this work?
There's no way it makes it work. Because, I mean, the other thing is they're all rich. Like,
yeah.
Just fucking buy bonds. Buy some uni bonds. Just like, what are you doing? Just like, you were making shitloads of money. How are you not able to fucking... like, the check that the daughter gets for her fucking dad killing, like, a bajillion people was $3 million.
Yeah.
Does she inherited any money? Or is... Like, I actually suspect that this might be a way to launder the money to people without raising the authorities' suspicions. Because I don't know how deep the fucking mind control works, because they never fucking explain any of this shit.
No, they never explain how the mind control works at all. It just works.
Yeah, so the law helps the girl get some insurance money from some fucking shady guy. The insurance guy never comes back again. So
he never shows up again, but he's there. He's an insurance man. He's there. He sells Darwin.
He's selling insurance in a death game, which is an incredible occupation. It's the most ludicrous job anyone has ever had. It's more ridiculous than being a video game journalist. If we manage to get our feet pick futures trading company off the draw, we will be less ridiculous than this man. This is the craziest thing. So we just move on from that, and the main character has been training with some Russian weeaboos, legitimately Russian weeaboos, in a boxing ring for 2 months, and his boys have gotten healed. Oh, this was something you were wrong about. You insisted that the COD Ghost man losing his hand would matter. I don't know if you did that on or off mic. But
I don't know if I was on or off mic, but I did think it would matter, and it did not matter.
I insisted it did not in a very dismissive way, and I was completely correct. They hand waved it away with there is a Russian weeaboo who fixes his hand. Incredible shit, folks. There are just Russian weeaboos out here who you could just be like, I don't have a hand. And they're just like, boom, you got a hand. And that's it. Why did the fucking... Okay, here's another question. Why are you saving up money to save your fucking daughter when you could have just taken your daughter to the fucking Russian weeaboo at the boxing ring and be like, here's my daughter-oo, and then boom, you're fixer-oo. It's over. It's done. What are you saving up money for? None of that made any sense at all. So the main character has been using the time skip correctly. It looks like he has activated sicko mode. And that he was acting super edgy, but then he turns down the edgy for a bit, so I kind of forgot that he had entered sicko mode. But don't worry, sicko mode will return.
Sicko mode will come back.
In like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then after this, he fights the person running the boxing ring.
Who is a Russian weeaboo, the Russian weeaboo.
He's a Russian weeaboo and secures an alliance with them by using his cool powers.
That spans both episodes, so we're just going into the next episode.
So now we're going into episode 2. Oh yeah, there is a whole lot of there's so much stuff happens, but it happens so quickly. It's
also so one of the guys died in the 9/11, but the other one who had wind powers survived 9/11.
That's impressive. Plant 9/11 did not manage to silence his wind.
Yes.
And so after he wins against the boxer who apparently allegedly can fight a tank. One-on-one.
Yeah, he literally says he could 1v1 a tank.
Yeah.
Okay, which I assume is just an inherent ability Russians have.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that ridiculous. I guess he could just punch it. Because he can turn into metal. Like, when he first said that, you're like, that's crazy. And then it's like, oh, you can turn to metal. It's like, yeah, of course. You just walk up and you punch it.
Yeah.
So, as he wins, a woman who's shown up repeatedly that we have not mentioned, who's been wearing a mask, shows up. And she gives everyone she makes everyone feel like they died, which is just how most people feel when they check their social media feed. She basically just gives you an anxiety attack. She gives you a big anxiety attack around your neck, and everyone's like, I have a sword.
Well, it's not always your neck. It's just wherever she sends the energy sword, which also is not her sigil, by the way. It's just a thing she can do. She can do it. That is a real life existing thing.
Darwin's game suggests if you practice hard enough, you can give people the feeling that they're dying with your brain.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is true. It's true. It's definitely a thing. Someone's been using this ability against me every time I have to give a presentation.
I know. I get it every time I give a presentation.
To a pretty girl.
There are so many times I get this.
It's really incredible. And so her ability is just the ability to make people feel like they're dying. Which is not her sigil. Did they explain what her sigil is?
No, they never show her sigil. But by the way, just on her ability, her ability is basically just like a constant feeling I have every day. So if she could stop doing that to me, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, she, like, sort of, at some point tries to use it on someone, and is like, you're not afraid of dying? There aren't a lot of people who aren't afraid of dying. Like there are suicide bombers, like, every fucking 2 days. Yeah, there's fucking random guys going to do... Like literally, we cannot pass a week on this fucking planet without someone who just does not give a shit whether he lives or dies. Yeah. There's generally fucking guys out there. I'm calling you out. It's generally guys. I'm
sure there's women who do it, not as many.
That's not one of those things where we need you to break the glass ceiling, because if you do this, you will legitimately break more than the glass ceiling.
Do not break the glass ceiling on this
wall. You'll break kids. No one should be doing this stuff. Do not do this. Do not suicide bomb.
Not suicide bomb.
Yeah, we're against it. Coming out against. But yeah, no, it's incredible to her that this girl would not fear death, which was really bizarre to me. Yeah. Because frankly, I gotta be realistic. I don't think I feared. I think I could have taken her.
You know, I probably could have. I'd be like, "Oh, you just caused an anxiety attack."
I've had those for years.
Yeah, like I have those all the time. Like, don't worry.
You feel like you're gonna die? Like, yeah, no, this is normal.
This is totally normal. Like, I'm in terrible pain. I'm like in terrible pain every day, lady. It's fine.
Does nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she uses her ability to abduct him, and then explains that she wants him to impregnate her so that she can create a new generation of assassins, and then he insists that he will not follow anyone if they can only kill. Which is really, I'd like you to think about that as we go forward.
I want you to save that in your brain.
He says specifically, the thing that makes him so cool and strong is that he has never killed anyone and never will.
And he never will kill anyone. Ever.
Ever. Despite the fact that all of his friends at this point are murderers.
Yes. All of his friends are mass murderers.
But he never murdered anyone.
He never murdered anyone.
He's a better person.
Yeah. He did not murder anyone. So he demands
that she fight off his friends who have come to rescue him, his clan, which they have named Sunset Ravens. To highlight because it is stupid.
Yeah, that's a stupid name.
Not literally like stupid in like a fun way either.
Just like stupid in a stupid way.
This might have been the manga author's actual clan.
Yeah, like this might have been his gaming clan.
Like Final Fantasy 14 friends. Like the boys are just reading Darwin's game. They're like, that's us.
Yeah.
And so they've sort of
if that's true, totally okay.
If that's totally okay. So it's fine. You shout at your boys. And girls. I don't know what's going on in Final Fantasy 14. They've come to rescue him, and he's like, if you can manage to escape here without killing anyone, I will fuck you. I will be your husband. I will marry you. And I'll fall in love with you. And then she's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so then they do it. She cannot actually stop them.
She cannot, no.
It looks she did, but then the butler shows up and explains that actually he won because their car broke down.
Their car broke down. They can no longer get away from scary murder lady with the chains without killing her, which means they cannot escape without killing.
The situation is resolved when the person they're fighting, who is an assassin, who I will refer to as Assassin Lady, shows up and is like basically just goes like, all right, let me join your clan then. And then he's like, all right, yeah. And then he says something incredibly stupid, which is, if you're planning on betraying the clan, betray me first, come after me. I feel like he doesn't know how betrayal works.
Yeah.
Betraying means you do the opposite of what you've promised and intended. Like what you've led people on to believe. There's no... But betrayal, like, you can't promise to not betray. You can't, lay out, here's the fucking protocols for when we abandon the protocols. That's just not how life works. But he's like, if you want to fucking betray us, you gotta betray me first. And we now know why he did that. It's related to his power, which I think we're almost at the ability to explain. This is resolved, and so now we just move on to the next episode where that didn't happen.
No, we forgot. So all of the clan objects to this lady joining the clan for really dumb reasons.
Oh yeah, I glossed over this because it was stupid.
Yeah, it was so stupid, but like basically they're all mad because bad. Everyone gets really mad because bad.
Despite the fact that they're all murderers.
They're all murderers. And they're like, no, we can't let this murderer in our clan. And it's just like...
I've seen you murder on screen, Shuko.
No, they're just mad because they're not as good as it.
Yeah, and also she's really hot, which is like a really...
She's also really hot. She's the only genuinely hot lady in this anime.
Shuka's got a really weird design that I do not like.
Yeah,
Shuka, there's just something off about it, and then the lollies are lollies, so they don't count.
They're lollies, so no, don't do that.
I wish they had, like, a girl in this that was, like a tough one. You know what I mean? Like, because all the girls in this that are murderers are, like, assassin murderers.
Do you just want Mordred from Fate, but in this?
No, I'm thinking more in terms of, like, if we could get, like, a big, like, jacked girl. Whole thing, so then after they're like, no, don't join. He's like, yeah, sure, join, whatever. Then the next thing happens, and there was a fat guy that was his friend at the beginning of the show, whose name I've already forgotten. He is kidnapped at the end of one episode, and then it's revealed that I'm just gonna skip over the Wick Donald shit.
Okay. They go to one of the. It's Wick Donalds.
Wick Donalds. I'm sorry.
Wick Donalds. Yeah.
Maybe Wick Donalds has now accidentally been copyrighted by like one of these other animes using it.
Yeah.
Now they got to go to Wick Donalds.
Yeah, Wick Donalds.
I really feel bad. They're gonna stumble onto an actual burger chain at some point when if they keep like morphing the letters, and they're gonna get their ass sued this way to Sunday.
No, like one day they're just gonna have Burger King in there as a McDonald's.
They don't know what the fuck. I don't know how well known is Wendy's a thing in Japan.
Yeah, it is.
Shit, that's wild.
Yeah, no, I've been to Japanese Wendy's. They even have like Wendy's like sit down restaurants in Japan.
All right, that's wild. Can you walk me through this?
What, the Wendy's?
Yeah, so you go to a sit down restaurant in Wendy's. What is that like?
Well, it's called Wendy's First Kitchen, and there's ones in like Tokyo where basically you just you go and like it's just like a nicer Wendy's.
So when you make a Wendy's nicer, I have a hard time picturing that.
Well, because like so there's
Fuddruckers type situation, or we're talking all the way to a Chili's.
We're talking a Fuddruckers type situation.
Okay, so now, this is like a Fuddruckers. It's not like a Chili's. Like I get a quesadilla there.
What do they have on the menu? Let's see. You can get pasta.
Ooh, fancy! But you can get pasta at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you can. You can. It's just like it's like nicer Wendy's, but there's also pasta. And
why
soup.
did they feel the need to make premium Wendy's?
They got soup.
Why?
Wendy's is I don't know. I mean, this is only in like cities. I really don't know.
Was there a desire for an upper? They're like, we love the Wendy's brand, but if it was just a little bit more expensive, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's also Wendy's. Can I just get a normal Wendy's burger?
Yeah, I think they serve like Red Robin style burgers.
So this is just a different burger chain that's
this is a different burger chain that's in the Wendy's name. Yes.
This is incredible to me.
So mind you, there's also a KFC in Japan that's like it's like a whiskey bar.
What?
Like it's called Route 25, and it's just with the KFC company.
So I'm sorry, you gotta walk me through this. There's a bar that I can go to where I can get KFC chicken and alcohol at the same time.
Yes.
I guess it's not that wild because there's the Taco Bell Cantina, which I've always wanted to go to, but running is like a circle of friends that are like exclusively.
Hang on! I see a thing that says it
with
might
some
be
minor exceptions.
It might have closed down.
This is a fucking nightmare. Colonel you put me on an emotional roller coaster here that has gotten us farther and farther away from what
this is better. This is better than the other thing. So it allowed smoking. Unfortunately, yeah, this is probably closed. This is something that was open when I came to Japan. Like
reopen? You didn't go enough times. It's your fault. Reopen.
I didn't go enough times. Well, I only went to Japan. Like I had 4 years between when I went to Japan both times. I went right after high school, and then I went during college.
But did you go to the Route 25?
Yeah, I did go to the Route 25. I couldn't drink at the time, but I went there because they had actual sit down food. You get a pizza at a KFC.
What the fuck are you talking about? So can you get KFC at the Route 25?
Yes.
You could get... What was the pizza like at the fancy KFC?
It was not very good.
Well, that was a fucking surprise. Would you get pepperoni?
No, I just got a cheese pizza.
Could you get KFC chicken on...
Hang on. I'm reading an article about it. The Route 25 food menu features a number of original dishes, including pizza, pastas, and desserts, as well as a few standard KFC items. The drink menu keeps it classy with primarily whiskey-based cocktails like Jack and Coke, and slightly foofy with mint sparkle, an easy-to-drink Japanese variation of the Kentucky State favorite Early Times Mint Julep. We took a trip to sample that Midwestern food and atmosphere. You could have people with cocktail glasses.
Kentucky is not in the Midwest.
That's not the Midwest at all.
Who fucking wrote this shit?
Anyways, they said the reporter started out with a beer. The reporter started with a beer and a piece of original recipe chicken, delicious as to be expected, before moving on to one of the original items that caught my eye: pizza with 6 kinds of cheese and maple syrup.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes.
How did he feel?
He said he liked it.
Yeah, no, like maple syrup would be good on a pizza, actually.
Yeah.
Why didn't you order that, you stupid fucking idiot?
I don't know why I didn't order that. I didn't read this article till now.
I mean, now the place is fucking closed because you didn't go there enough times.
I know, Jesus.
And you never told you how long ago was it you went there?
It was like when I was right after I graduated from high school.
But getting back to the show, Lolly meets up with the girl at the WickDenolds. They exchange.
Yeah, the WickDenolds. Yes.
Lolly complains that their leader never wants to kill anyone, and that sucks. Which is I should have seen this as foreshadowing, but I kind of just agreed with her at the time, so I didn't take it as that. So then after that, it's revealed that his fat friend, has been kidnapped by Eights, by the bad gang. And so this they showed him getting kidnapped a while before. So
they did.
Now the main characters realized, for some reason, the character they just introduced in the gang, they had just joined, the assassin girl's not there. So now the rest.
Yeah, she's not there. She does not appear in the anime again.
The rest of them go to rescue the fat guy who is being held hostage at the wharf that exists in every anime to exist at this exact point in the story where someone's being held hostage.
Yeah, so it's always at a wharf.
Is to be believed. Japanese police exist in a constant state of helping kids find lost balloons and dealing with people holding people hostage in a warehouse. Yeah. These are the only 2 situations they face. Occasionally, they might walk over a dead body and go I wonder what that is. But they won't they don't investigate that. Their main thing is just minor stuff running after kids doing graffiti or exclusively terrorism action happening in warehouse districts. I don't understand it. It's got to be a very exciting job where you're just constantly having to protect former fish canneries and what I assume is meat packing districts. They're not very clear on these industrial areas. They're just sort of generic. You couldn't really tell what these warehouses were. But again, the police seem to know who the Eights are. I assume they just think they're a regular gang. So they send 20 cops and they kill all the police. Just not great, IMO. Don't kill cops.
Don't kill cops. Cops get really mad when you kill cops. Literally, people who hate cops don't kill cops because they know the cops are going to just, not stop ever because you killed cops.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why, if you're an organized crime or whatever, they try to avoid killing cops.
Yeah.
It's cops, they'll investigate. Their job is to, stop crime or whatever. So if you murder someone, they're not big on it. They'll investigate. They might file a report. They'll run some blood tests. They'll look around. Yeah. They'll talk to some people. You kill a cop? Oh, dude, it don't matter where you are. They're going to find your dumb ass and they're going to get you. They're going to get your boss. They're going to get your cousin. They're going to get everybody you know, and they're all murderers now. They're going to be a spotlight on your dog. And they hate dogs too, so
they despise dogs.
They have opened a can of worms that they're too cool to care about because they have superpowers.
They're cool to care because they have superpowers.
This only takes one cop to get, which is incredible to me that the police, as far as the Darwin's game has shown no police with superpowers, which seems insane because if they were investigating the crime,
if the police knew, the police would join the game just to be cops with superpowers.
Legitimately, why wouldn't you join the game if you were a cop? Because you're supposed to be figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, you're supposed to. So it's like, join the game, man. Like, you're a cop. You can literally call for backup or whatever. I guess because you can't tell people outside of the game about the game, or you die. Yeah. You need every cop in the station to be in the game.
The only two options for Darwin's game participants are you are a hobo or you are a rich, eccentric millionaire who goes out at night. Those are the only two things. You just constantly are like worried about getting killed. Or you're like living in the lap of luxury being like, haha, murder is great. They have a plan to rescue him, which rescue the fat man. So they throw a phone through the window of the warehouse, allowing the fat guy to join Darwin's game and activate his superpower, which is telekinesis, saving his life temporarily until he is stopped
keep note
and
of that.
killed.
He is killed literally off screen moments after he's introduced again.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
It was really pathetic. It's like,
then he is put in a box, and then the gang leader is like, "You made me fucking really annoyed when you fucking bamboozled me. Nobody fucking bamboozles this guy."
Yeah.
So I cut up your friend to make you sad. And then this causes the main character to activate sicko mode.
Remember, this main character, he's good because he doesn't kill people and never will. He doesn't kill people, and he never will kill them. Sicko mode is on.
He kills everyone.
People running away who've dropped their weapons, dead. War crimes committed.
There's legitimately points where one of these like shitty gangster people are running away. A COD guy from COD Ghost Man just shoots them in the back.
Yes. Shoots in the back.
No pity, no remorse, just killing everyone. Dozens
main character
of people.
Literally at some point gets a sword and cuts someone.
Members of the gang.
He beheads someone. Main character beheads someone.
Yeah, no, it gets pretty gory. Like, people are just dropping like fucking flies in the show, dude.
Yeah, they are. Like, oh god, like they burn through like 14 people?
Yeah.
I forget how many they said they had in the gang. They killed everyone in the gang.
They killed everyone. And then it's revealed, the bad guy, that the thing that he specifically wished for, because it was a wish, was he asked for the ability to basically bet on the matches and like gamble that way to get more points than the game would give for himself.
So that was his wish. His wish was to make the enemy clan just like give up all its points, meaning they die.
Which he does on them, killing the entire clan. So this is sort of, and again, his idea is he wants to prevent people from fighting. So he sort of makes a nuclear weapon. He sort of has a General Sherman sort of like nuclear war, Cold War sort of element of like, if I make war really, 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 really fucking bad, people won't do it. Yeah. And I'm not sure that's a strategy that's necessarily going to work, especially because it didn't work because he didn't tell anyone about it. Because when the gang leader is fucking completely bamboozled. He is like, what? Wild. And then he dies. And this is not the end of the show because there's one last...
No, this is it. But also, by the way, she has the ability to control any cable-like object, right?
By you mean the girl love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she actually, her ability was not the ability to control cables, it was the ability to control anything that was like a thread.
Anything like a thread, yes.
Which also means she could just like take your pants and just de-pants you with her mind. Which is an incredibly powerful power. Or like also DNA is a thread. She could fuck around with that. Thread.
So like she could manipulate your belt.
But the only thing that she actually uses power for is she puts up a lot of string in this warehouse.
Which, by the way, they stole from fucking Hellsing. Because fucking Walter uses that. And Walter uses them to infinitely better effect than she does.
She didn't even realize this was their ability. So I guess they learned more during the time skip.
Yes.
We get one last reveal of what's going on. After eliminating... We get two more reveals. So after the evil gang is destroyed, we have a scene where there's a guy in it who's just sort of covered in blood in a church laughing, going, that guy's great. And then he gets a call, and he's like, the main character, Coon's is important now. Leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. He's being observed.
He's being observed by the game master. who we've already been introduced to. Then the main character says he wants to kill the game master and like stop the game or whatever because he hates murder after he just killed. So like I was saying, he declares war on the game master. He's gonna get him. And then we have a bit where we see what that actually means in effect. He has marked out his territory, and they effortlessly, mostly non-lethally, but again, they still kill people.
Well, not mostly. They kill most of the people, and they leave.
They kill most of the people, leave one person in each group to run away and say, Darwin's game has been banned in the territory of
the Sunset Raven.
The terrible name.
Terrible.
So apparently this seems to be taken to be like this is going to just completely shut the entire game down.
Yeah.
Apparently they can't do it somewhere else.
Apparently they can't do it anywhere else.
They're claiming they're claiming enough territory that it's just like it's not happening. They're like the whole Kanto region. They're not going to be able to fucking do any Darwin's game. And then there's an epilogue where he enters angrily into the next event, which is a hunting thing.
Yeah.
But the game, I assume, will continue. My understanding is the manga is ongoing. The anime will likely receive another adaptation. This was not that long ago. Darwin's Game Season 2, hopefully, I don't know if we will tackle it on this show. I don't intend to.
I hope not. I really hope not.
If we do tackle it, it'll be after it's aired.
Yeah.
Or we might record episodes of it in like 3-episode chunks.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to sit down and marathon all of Darwin's Game.
No.
That's just simply...
we will never revisit Season 1 after this.
So this is the end of Season 1. These are our thoughts.
Yeah, these are our thoughts.
So we're gonna be now moving into the review stage because we've finished summarizing the entire show.
We finished summarizing, yes.
The one thing that we do have to talk about that we have not mentioned is you repeatedly have mentioned your desire to complain about the OP and then you never do.
Yeah, I never do. So the OP is just trash. It is so bad. It is really bad.
What's your problems with it?
So, my problem is obviously, like every anime OP, they fucking spoil every character you don't know yet, including ones you meet in, like, the last episode, in the OP. It's just so dumb. Why do that? Don't do that.
It happens in every anime, too.
It happens in every anime, too. Don't do that. It's stupid.
It's also incredibly generic. There's a lot of, like, outreaching hands, and then...
There's a lot of outreaching hands, and then, like, there's all sorts of, like, edgy scenes. Like, they all go to the, like, alternate reality, like, completely destroyed world.
Yeah, they're like looking over and then like people looking sad or whatever. It's very generic. I will say, like, I understand that it's difficult to not spoil things. Fairly lengthy series, like, I mean, it's not like that lengthy, but it's 11 episodes, so they were rolling out characters. It was kind of difficult in episode 2 or whatever. They didn't like do the whole thing where it's all completely spoiled. It's not a Gundam Seed situation, but I mean, it's pretty damn bad. I would say the OP is like very generic. You're not going to be rocking out this soundtrack in general. This show, this is a really weird complaint. People don't talk about this enough in anime. Everyone always says when it's good. No one says when it's bad. And the soundtrack in this anime is so generic. At one point, I genuinely thought that it might be like a show in a song I heard before in a different anime. But it's just because you have a female vocalist saying things in Japanese over like a fairly generic rock, song. It just sounds like that. You're like, yeah, she sounds sad, I guess.
Yep.
And like that's it. It's like every song in this is fairly generic. There's a bit where there was like a bit of a rapping section in one of them, which was sort of fun. I actually think they should have leaned in more to like a hip hop kind of. They should
have really leaned into the hip hop.
The bad guy. They kind of gave him like a. He's a Shibuya sort of gangster sort of.
He's supposed to be like a Yakuza guy.
He's not like a Yakuza guy. He's like a...
Well, I felt like he had very Yakuza aesthetics.
No, he's like a street thug guy. He's like the kind of guy who like...
Oh, yeah, no, he's a low-level Yakuza guy. He's not like the senior guy. He's like the guy who's not...
He's not like...
He's the guy the senior guy sends out to like intimidate people. And yeah, he's not in an actual Yakuza gang.
Yeah, he's not like in an actual Yakuza gang. I think he might be like a... He's like kind of gives me a color gang kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like this is a guy who's like... He's like a criminal. He's like a low-level criminal. He's not part of any sort of gang, really. He's just got his boys, and they like run around and they drink. Like, I don't know what the Japanese equivalent of Miller Lite is, but they basically just drink Miller Lite and smoke.
They also drink the finger water.
What's the finger water?
You know how he has that jar that he puts all the severed fingers in?
Oh yeah.
and then then if they do good, they get to drink it.
Yeah, that guy was really weird.
The guy was really weird. He's dead now, thankfully.
Yeah, luckily the main character did decide that murder was okay just for them. Yeah. It was some very... I'm not particularly surprised that the anime was this bad, but it was kind of more like every cliche that could happen happened in a way that was not especially clever or funny. And by the end of it, I was just furious. At one point, they had bulletproof tires. Is that a real thing that exists? I don't know. But
I'm going to Google it right now. Bulletproof.
Right now. Find out.
Actually, bulletproof tires are not bulletproof. It's a wage term. Tires are made of rubber. Rubber cannot resist a moving bullet.
That's what I thought. So wait,
it's
is it a
bullet-resistant tire? So a big enough bullet moving fast enough will go through anything. The goal of making bulletproof tires is not to make a tire that no bullet will penetrate, but make a tire that will stop some bullets.
Okay, so I guess that is a real thing.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, in general, my problem with this show was it was very generic. It did not have any sort of grand dreams. I wonder if this was a bad adaptation, but I checked the subreddit to see if that was the case, and people were happy with it. It has gotten praise from noted anime critics like Your Mother's Basement, but their praise was also that it was bad.
Okay. So it was good because it was bad. Although, by the end, it was just bad, not good, bad.
Again, he might have put that video out, like, after the first couple episodes where I think
he might have.
warranted.
Yeah, because, like,
the thing that was really incredible to me while I was trying to understand the show was the main character's mind space and just trying to get inside his head, because, like, I'm
not convinced he has a character. He just does whatever.
He just seems to do whatever. I understand that he did have a character, like, arc. Like, he started off, he wanted to survive, that's all he cared about. Then he got friends, and he was like, I just never want to murder anyone. And he was a little bit arrogant about it. And then he learned that he was being an ideologue, and sometimes you have to murder. And that's his arc, is sometimes you've got to kill people.
Yeah.
Which is the sentiment that I guess I agree with to some extent. He even says, like, something along the lines of, like, I could understand being okay with killing someone because, like, we're all in a death game, so, like, you know, it's you or me. Which is something he says, like, he wouldn't have held it against the gangsters if that's where they were at, but then they started killing innocent people, and then, like, that's not forgivable.
That's not forgivable, so then he just murders all of them.
So he didn't care about...
Even the one who said I hadn't killed anyone yet, and he was kind of scared, he was just, like, dead.
Yeah, no, he just didn't care about anything. He just murdered tons of people. And in fact, he actually murdered people for the goal of stopping murder. So he's sort of...
Yeah.
He is sort of trying to establish, like, a hegemony over Darwin's game. He is sort of trying to do, like, the United States, like, neocon shit.
He's trying to do U.S. foreign policy.
He is trying to be Dick Cheney.
He's trying to do Dick Cheney.
And, like, that didn't work for our boy Dick, and he, like, had more soldiers.
I don't want Dick to be my boy.
My boy.
Your boy, Bill's boy, not Alan's boy.
Bill's boy, Dick Cheney, he had a lot more soldiers than just, like, a girl who can twirl a chain around and a guy who has a cod mask. Actually, a mask of an actual codfish would be so much cooler than a cod.
That would be so much cooler.
How much more
oh my god! Do you know how great cod are? Cod are fucking awesome.
What are cool about cod? Because you just said that as if that's something that's really true.
Have you ever had fish and chips?
Okay, so you just think they taste good? I thought you meant like the animal did something that was neat.
No, I mean fish are good. Like they're no salmon. Salmon are the best fish, but cod are just
salmon tastes very good.
Yeah, like, salmon just look cool. Like, it's good.
Actually, a few weeks back, I made these, I was trying to make quesadillas, but they came out more like warm, soft tacos that were, like, smoked salmon and garlic with, like, Gouda cheese. Dude, it was incredible. It was some of
the
best shit. Like, it was not remotely a quesadilla, because I was completely fucking it up. Don't ask me how I actually fucked that up, but... Like, it was really fucking tasty. Salmon is so good.
Salmon is really good.
I feel like, here's the thing, like, when you're in the store now, I don't know when this started happening, but you can just, like, buy, like, rolls of smoked salmon. And I mean, it's fairly expensive, but I mean, like, people buy dumb shit in the store all the time. So, like, I really recommend, like, just go to fucking get some smoked salmon, put that shit on a sandwich, put that shit on a taco, do other shit with it. Those are the only two things I know how to do with food.
Yeah.
You know what I did today?
Sushi. You could make salmon sushi. Not you personally, like a sushi chef can.
Yeah. You know what I did today? I made some crawfish tacos. Because this is the only thing I know how to do. Is I just take things and then I put them in a tortilla shell. That's not entirely true. I'm being facetious. But that's my preferred mode of interfacing with food objects. Is can I put this in a taco or put it on a pizza? I think we have... do we have other thoughts on Darwin's game? Because we just shit on it so aggressively. It is amazing to me how little Charles Darwin featured in this game.
Yeah, one episode, one mention.
One mention about the origin of species. I don't think they ever said survival of the fittest.
They never did.
That's amazing. They had 11 episodes. And they
also, at some point, they got a Humvee. We never addressed this. At some point, the clan got a Humvee.
I mean, I think they just bought that.
Right. But, like, there's a secret, like, society of Humvee owners in Japan. I've never seen them. But every time I've been to Japan, I'll go look at the cars. And they don't even have Hummers. The roads can't even fit cars that big.
I mean, I think they must have gotten it off the gacha.
They must have. They must have gotcha
there's
a Humvee.
A lot of Humvees, like, in military surplus, which is like...
Also, by the way, other point, such an inconsistent lore. At one point, he gets, like, a gun from the gacha in the game, but then he mentions going to a gun dealer later, despite the gun being on sale in the game. You never need to go to a dealer. You know what that does? Paper trail.
The other thing is that the lolly actually mentions that the guy is overpriced, so that was a bad idea. But he only needs to touch the gun, which he knows.
And he could make his own.
Does the gun dealer know that he's... If you're a gun dealer, you don't want a guy who can make guns to touch your guns, you know?
Yeah. Well, or you do, because then you have him work for you, and then you just make a lot of gun.
He's clearly not doing that. He hates murder.
Yeah.
This is his least favorite thing. And his favorite thing is killing people who murder. At the end. He basically snapped and went sicko mode. I mean, this is a very classic arc for an anime main character to learn he has to have the strength to protect what he loves or whatever. And like, I mean, this is not groundbreaking, terrible garbage. It's not like new. Like you were comparing it to like some of the worst shit we've ever seen, such as like Heavy Object or Big Order.
No. Well, the reason why I say that, right, is because those shows never bored me. This bored me.
Heavy Object bored the shit out of me. I think you forgot.
I might have forgot. Well, because Heavy Object got very entertaining because it would get so bad. We sort of looped around on boring to like finding it fascinating. Yeah.
But this show, it was a lot of things happening very quickly. But again, if we were not watching this for the podcast, I would have probably dropped this.
Yeah, this would have been dropped if we had not started this podcast.
We probably would have watched 5 or 6 episodes and then dropped it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, no, that doesn't sound like us. We might have actually marathoned all of it.
We might have just marathoned all of it at once, actually, without the podcast.
But there's definitely no way we would have come back after a week and watched more.
Yeah.
If we would have either, like, marathoned it within 2 nights, or we wouldn't have seen it at all.
Yeah.
Because, like, after that first episode, I was like, alright, this might be fine. But I think it is now time. Remember, if you have any specific complaints or questions relating to Darwin's game, feel free to email us at badanimepodcast@gmail.com. And any comments about anything, feel free to just email us. Also, I haven't mentioned this as much as I should have, but if you're liking the podcast, please review it. Give it 5 stars. Give it a nice review. Say that we're very nice and that we say good things and that we should be on all platforms. Again, I don't know what platforms we'll even be on when this episode airs, so I can't tell you in specific, but wherever you're listening to this, take the opportunity, like it, comment it, share it to your friends.
Yeah. We currently got Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and we do just have an RSS.
But before we go off and rejoin you in another week, we got one more bit of housekeeping that must be addressed. And that is, what fucking anime are we going to watch after Darwin's game? I have the anime, but the problem is I've already forgotten what its name was, so I have to...
I have scrolled up in the chat, and I'm going to relink it.
I've pulled it up. So we are looking at an anime that has a 6.02 on Mao, rated by 15,711 viewers, put out in spring of 2018. It is the 2,155th most popular anime of all time. According to Mal, ranked 7,782 of all anime of all time. And I'd like you, if you're listening at home, please buckle the fuck up because this is going to be kind of a bumpy ride here. This is Doreiku the animation. Eager to know why her best friend's boyfriend dumped her for a man, the headstrong Iya Arakawa suggests a meeting with them. Gathered together at a cafe, Yuta Uga agrees to answer Aya's questions only if she can correctly...
It's Yuga Uta.
I'm sorry. She can correctly ascertain the relationship of a couple sitting across from them, which she does on her first attempt. Amazed by her astounding intellect and intuition, he invites her to a private meeting, where he introduces her to the concept of slave control method, or SCM. A retainer-like device that has the ability to turn people into slaves. When two SCM users enter a duel, the devices exert a powerful influences on their brain. Once the duel is over, the SCM amplifies the loser's sense of obligation and forces them to bend to the will of the winner. Only a Japanese person would... this sidebar. Only a Japanese person would think such a device is possible. There's no such thing as there's no biological sense of obligation. That does not exist.
They have all this research into these biological functions that are entirely social, and it's amazing.
It's amazing. So I'd like to continue. Wanting desperately to test his own abilities, Yuga asks Aya to act as his insurance in the event that he himself becomes a slave. Granted access to 10 million yen, Aya's job is to convince Yuga's would-be master to free him from his servitude. Though hesitant at first, Yuga's words resonate with her personal yearning for something more from her life, and she agrees to his request. However, when a mysterious organization begins rapidly accruing slaves, Aya becomes entangled in a game far more dangerous than she could have imagined. So we know nothing about this. You've not looked further, right?
I did just watch the teaser while you were reading.
Okay, that's fine. So you can actually... maybe help me with this. So it's her friend's boyfriend dumped her. So she went to go see, she's baffled why her friend's boyfriend is bi. Is basically it, right?
So basically, there's no reason to, It's
also, if you knew him, if it was a long relationship and you knew him as well, you might want to ask, but, it seems like she's, a little bit homophobic.
Yeah.
Just low-key a little bit on the homophobia side. A little bit biphobia, maybe? I don't know. But then this guy talks you into... what is that even like? Because I'm wondering, and this is, a really wild thing, is it tied to the slavery thing?
The boyfriend thing?
Is the boyfriend
thing I can only assume they have to be linked, because,
But, how? Because this wouldn't happen unless... he couldn't have asked her to help him if he becomes a slave, if he was already a slave, which means that he must have... The only scenario here is he has a slave, which is the boyfriend.
Right. The boyfriend is the slave.
Which seems wild to me. Our main character here is going to be friends with a slave owner.
I mean, do you know how many animes have slavery in them?
A lot. So this is sort of... We're going to turn this podcast into basically just being our personal anime abolition podcast.
Yeah, so this is an abolitionist podcast.
This is an anime abolitionist podcast.
No, not English anime. This is a full abolitionist podcast.
Okay, yeah, I want to be clear here. We're for abolition of all. We are focusing specifically on anime. Yeah, that's the mission of this organization. So the English name of this is 23 Slaves and Me.
Yes. The inferior 23andMe, because it has that extra word in there.
It's legitimately, I'm very concerned about what we're getting ourselves into here.
I am a bit concerned.
I do like
things that are heavy on slavery have been dropped by us before.
I'm against slavery, and I don't know if we're like if you're for slavery, feel free to write us an email, Kanye. Just send us an email if you think slavery is a choice, because it's not. This is not how slavery works. The plantation owners did not use a slave control method. The Spartans did not make bets with their helots. They just sort of terrorized them with force. But again, that is what we are planning to watch. So if you want to keep up with the podcast, feel free to watch three episodes. The first 3 episodes of 23 Slaves and Me, also known as Doreiku the Animation.
Doreiku the Animation.
So this is a 6 out of 10 on Mal, and people on Mal like basically anything. So again, in closing, justice for our boy Charles. He did not deserve Darwin's game.
Charles did
and
not
free
deserve this. Was a
every slave in
free
anime.
Every slave in anime and out of anime. Out of anime too.
The fucking old guys who get into pachinko debt and then try to get on casino debts. But free them. Free all slaves everywhere.
The raccoon girl, that one.
I'm looking at you. Especially. Yeah, free the raccoon girl. Free the bunny girls that think it's okay to be a slave. It's not.
It's not. It's not okay.
Slavery takes. Well, it really only takes one person, but slavery can't be imposed on the master. In anime, that's how it works. Some girl just walks up and is like, "Be my owner," and you're like, "I don't want to," and then she shoves her titties in your face. You're like, "Ah." And that's not right. That's not how slavery works. No more slavery.
This might end up being kind of lewd.
I'm fine with it being lewd as long as it's bad.
Okay.
So, warning, if you've been letting your children listen to our podcast, you need to stop doing that immediately.
Also, don't do it in the first place.
Why are you doing that? This is us, Bill and Alan, signing off.